Hello everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Lily channel. Today is an exciting one because we're going to be testing out a full face of brand new makeup. Aside from, my basic essential products, eyebrow powder, black eyeliner, mascara, and that kind of stuff, it truly is going to be like a new product in each category pretty much. So buckle up, it's going to be probably longer than usual, although hopefully not too long for me in the editing process later on. Today it's truly going to be a mix of different makeup items from all markets around the world: Japanese, Korean, Western. I think we even have, Flower Nose is a Chinese brand. And so as we like to do on this channel, I'm just picking and selecting whatever caught my eye, whatever is the shiniest, newest, most exciting thing from each market, because why confine yourself to just one market when you can have the best of all worlds? So starting off with foundation, as you guys may know, TirTir, the cushion foundation brand, has been blowing up all over Japan. Not even just Japan, I feel like on social media it's picked up quite a lot of traction globally. It's actually a Korean brand and it's been around for a while. If you look back on my channel, I do have videos from like last year testing out the TirTir cushion foundation. But yeah, since then the hype around it has just grown to another level. Even though you guys know I'm not really a foundation girly like that, I try to just keep it simple with primer and concealer. I couldn't escape getting on the TirTir bandwagon this time around. So you guys know I already have the classic mask fit red cushion. This one is sparkly because it is in the holiday edition, and it just has these really cute like Christmas details inside on the puff as well. But I also went ahead and picked up mini sizes of some of the other formulations because Amazon was having quite a large Black Friday sale on all TirTir products. So I might do like a comparison video just focused on the TirTir cushions later on, but for today I thought we would try out the Mask Fit Aura cushion. So this Aura formulation in particular is described as having Kosai Kaba, which means more of a lustrous or glowy type of coverage. All the TirTir formulas have high coverage, but yeah, this is more of that glowy, luminous type of finish, shall we say. And yeah, I guess I'm in the mood for that today. Also, I just like the silver and white. It matches the silver and white packaging for the new Tom Ford collection that I'm also going to try out for today. Let's open this up. Ooh, it's silver, but it has very subtle like sparkles throughout. Reminds me of an eyeshadow topper actually. And inside, of course, we just have a matching cushion puff. This is in the shade 21N Ivory. I got the same shade in all the formulas. There's only 3 unfortunately, but 21N is kind of like right down the middle. So today I'm just applying this over bare skin. Well, there's skincare underneath, but I'm not using my usual Etouce oily skin primer. I usually dab a little bit of that at least in my T-zone area, but I kind of just wanted to see how the foundation performs on its own. Okay, there's a little bit of pilling, not gonna lie. I don't know if that's just because I put skincare on before this, but okay, so far I really like the finish. Do you see how it's giving me that glass skin look? It's not oily. It's lightweight, so it's not giving me any type of oily or heavy vibes. Definitely lighter feeling than the red cushion. I haven't been having the best time with the red cushion formula, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I think it looks great. It especially translates great on camera because, when you're on camera, the ring light and everything washes you out. So that cushion is great for like camera ready, truly full coverage. But I find that whenever I use this on a day that I'm just going out with a friend or going out in public, I'm always a little bit taken aback when I look into any reflective surface because it just looks very heavy in real life, and I'm careful not to over apply as well. So I think the nature of that formula is just a little bit heavier and cakier. So yeah, looks great on camera, but I can tell already that this Aura Fit formula would be more of my go-to for a daily fresh glowy look. Oh my god, I really like that actually. This is this is like glass skin pretty much. Amazing. We are 1 for 1. I feel like we started off so strong. There is so I mentioned this about the red fit cushion too, but there is also the same kind of soapy smell from this compact. Again, I personally don't mind it. You can't really tell after everything has been blended out on your face, but it does still throw me off a little bit because I just don't expect a foundation to smell like soap. Okay, so I quickly did my eyebrows off camera, and it's actually several hours later now. So when I started filming, it was like 7 a.m. and now it's 1:30 p.m. Yeah, I just had lunch. But look how the foundation is settling in really nicely. I love this glow that the Aura cushion is giving me. Oh my god, this might be my favorite formula. Well, let me not speak too soon because I still have to test out the other two, but I definitely like this better than the red cushion already. Okay, now let's move into eyeshadow. If you guys have been watching my TikToks and shorts and whatnot, you probably already know I picked up the Winter Eye Color Quad from Tom Ford along with the matching highlighter. Fun fact, this is my first Tom Ford purchase in probably like 6 or 7 years, definitely over 5 years. The reason I know that is because I searched back on my channel Tom Ford and I couldn't find anything. I didn't have any reviews on my channel at all about Tom Ford products, but I did have a period in my life, I remember, when I owned quite a few of his quads actually, and like some of his brushes as well. I remember when the Tom Ford beauty line actually came out, like its inception. I was watching a Wayne Goss makeup review video where he was raving about the original Tom Ford quads, and that kind of got me hooked. So that was way before I even started this YouTube channel. And yeah, since then I just kind of like, I fell off the Tom Ford bandwagon. I still always like, I felt that the products were always very high quality and luxurious, but I don't know, I think we just like the makeup landscape has changed so much in the past 5+ years that there were so many other brands that I preferred to put my money towards than Tom Ford. But this winter collection, something about the white and silver limited edition packaging, I know it's really basic. Like, tell me what other luxury cosmetics brand gets away with the bare minimum the way that Tom Ford does. I mean, seriously, it's not even that big of a deal. Like, the packaging is super minimal. If I'm very honest, this feels exactly like, you know, the original quads that I had from Tom Ford when the beauty line first came out, and even down to the duster bag that came with it. It's still this kind of like thin material, and the quad itself, I mean, it's good quality, it's a nice weight, it feels nice in the hand, but it's not perfect, you know, considering the price point. Like when I wiggle the top lid, it kind of goes back and forth. It's not completely like tight. And even on this highlighter, I know I'm nitpicking so much right now, but this thing retails for $90 US, okay? So that's over 10,000 Japanese yen. I think I have a right to expect it to be perfect. But yeah, like even this, you can see it's kind of loose. And there's actually, I don't know if this would count as a defect even, but there's like a nick along the edge here. I don't know if you can see. It doesn't bother me, like for some reason, because it is Tom Ford. I feel like, you know what, maybe because Tom Ford himself, the man, he gives me very classic minimalist masculine vibes. So I feel like the makeup brand, even though it's cosmetics, it still has that masculine minimalist vibe to it. So that's why I don't know, I'm willing to let it slide for not being as ornate as, say, Gucci or Chanel or something. But anyway, I digress. So this collection is called Soleil Neige, which is French for sun, snow, snowy sun, something like that. And then the eye color quad is called Lumiere d'hiver, which means light of winter or winter light. And I knew that without even having to use a translator, because at the very least my high school level French language education equipped me with enough vocabulary to decipher Tom Ford collections apparently. And then we have the Soleil Neige Glow Highlighter here in 01 Rose Irise. This is the more pinky gold of the two that were available. So yeah, in the pictures, this eyeshadow quad really did not look like anything special at all. In fact, I would say my first impression of it was that it was downright ashy. But I have to say, in person, it is absolutely stunning. Of course, it's still like a very basic, cool-toned, you know, neutral color story. However, when I started swatching it, it just took me right back to my first Tom Ford quad. The formula is exactly the same as I remembered it. One of the most, if not the most, finely milled eyeshadow formula that I've ever tried. And the glitters are just so like fine yet dimensional and just sophisticated. Sophistication all the way around. So with that being said, let me hurry up and prime my lids so that we can get these gorgeous shades on my eyes. You know what? I'm just remembering now what this packaging reminds me of. This looks like one of those old school cigar cases that men used to carry around. The design of it. I do feel like they could do more considering the prices that they're charging. But at the same time, I appreciate it for what it is. You know, it's like a very masculine, old money type of aesthetic fantasy that it's giving us here. So I'm not mad at that at all. And plus the size, like compared to all these tiny little Japanese palettes that I'd be using, which of course I love, but there's just something about holding a nice, solid, weighty quad in your hands. Like this takes up my entire hand. It just gives luxury. So I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade. Gonna sweep that all over my lids as a base. Then I'm going to take a little bit of a detailed brush and I'm going into this espresso colored matte here. Ooh, that is really dark. Okay. Yeah, but I'm not worried because Tom Ford shadows blend out like a dream. This really is like the exact same formulation that I remember from 5 years ago. I mean, hey, I guess there's no reason to fix what was never broken, right? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that took a little bit of effort for me to blow it out and get the gradient up to this extent, but that's also because I think I was a little overzealous with the initial placement of this shadow. It is quite a dark matte brown, so I probably should have started like closer to my lash line and then slowly worked my way up. I kind of just went in there guns a-blazing. But yeah, as long as you're patient and you take your time to blend, it does blend out beautifully. And I like that you can add some of the beige off-white color here to sheer out the areas that if you happen to go a little bit too dark with the brown. Also, I don't know if you can see, but there's been this crazy like flaking and scarring along my lash line lately. It's got to be from the lash glue that I use. However, I'm not even wearing makeup on a daily basis, so I'm kind of surprised that, you know, this flaking has been going on for so long. It's been over a week. Yeah, that's another thing that is not the eyeshadow's fault, but that made it kind of difficult to blend. But no, overall, I'm really enjoying the formula. I love the shade. I love how it's just the perfect cool toned brown, isn't it? Like it's leaning gray, but not quite gray. And I love how that's all I had to do, like these two shades, to create a really dramatic smoky effect. And now I just get to play with the shimmers, which are both quite exquisite. So we have a more metallic silvery shimmer here, and then this one is more of a bronzy base. So I'm going to use the bronzy base for the center of my lid, cover up any patchiness. I love how wet looking Tom Ford shimmers are too. It's because they're so finely milled. It just gives that glistening veil effect without any flakiness whatsoever. And then I'm going to use the more silvery one to highlight my inner corner and tear bag. I'm using the Can Make Creamy Touch Liner in number 3, dark brown, to create my tear bag. Softening that out with a liner brush and also layering some of the dark brown on top. It's all about the tear bags. That's a little dark. Let me tone down the lower tear bag shadow. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly go pop on some eyeliner, lashes, mascara now off camera. For once, like in a long time, I don't feel the need to add any extra glitter or whatnot because I do feel that the quality of these Tom Ford glitters are up to par. They're very, very finely milled and sophisticated, but still like blinding enough so that you can notice it. So that's amazing because I don't know how I would have felt about having to bring in outside help to spruce up a palette as expensive as this, $100 something. This was like 13,000 yen or something. I don't even know. Like, I didn't even check the price. I had a 10% coupon, that's all I know. All right, so my eyes are done. I'm absolutely obsessed with how they came out. Again, I think this is just the perfect winter cool toned look, especially against my skin tone. It's like cool toned but not ashy, and also the quality of the Tom Ford shimmers, they just add that extra spark. And now let's move on to blush. So I'm very tickled about this next item because it is the latest addition to my lilac blush collection. So this is from the Korean brand Peach Sea. It's called the Cheerful Blusher, and I got it in 05 Mulberry Full. This is my first time hearing of Peach Sea. It's a new brand to me, but I was just immediately drawn in by the clear, cute packaging, as well as when I went to swatch the tester in the store, I was so shocked at how creamy and buttery this is, especially considering that it's a powder. I don't think I've ever come across a powder blush that is this creamy and pigmented at the same time, and also with lilac. So I know that lilac blush is more of a trendy thing that really picked up in the past year on social media. It's not necessarily like the most practical or universally flattering, but I think that if you find the right one, the one that matches your undertone and that has a decent pigmentation and a nice blend and all of that, it can look really, really cute on pretty much any skin tone, right? So one of the challenges that I've had with the lilac blushes that I owned thus far, so I have a few of them here. This is from Cezanne, Can Make, and Fab Fig, which unfortunately this is probably pretty hard to find outside of Japan because this was created by, I forget who exactly, one of the Gyaru idol girls created this brand Fab Fig. So yeah, these are all great little options, and I'll throw a card up on the screen comparing all of these to the Peach Sea Mulberry Full shade, just so that you can see how they differ. But the one gripe that I have about a lot of violet or lilac blushes in general is that the pigmentation tends to be not that even. It's either like patchy or it's too light. That might have to do with the formula. It might just be the lilac color itself. I think it's difficult to make that opaque. So I've always been able to, you know, put on multiple layers and finesse it to make it work with these existing blushes in my collection, but I'm hoping that this one, if my initial swatches were any indication, it seems like I'll have an easier time getting an even pigmentation and blend out of this one. So let's go ahead and try it out. I'm actually going to use this new brush that I picked up from Rosy Rosa, and that's another thing. I also realized that it could have to do with the type of blush brush I'm using. So I noticed that when it's a fluffier brush like this or this, when it kind of like the bristles spray out as you get to the ends, this tends to not give me the best result that I'm looking for when I'm applying lilac colored blush, at least. But then I noticed that if I use a denser brush, like one that is denser in the center, like these Odin's Eye cheek brushes from their Swan Ballet collection, or this new Rosy Rosa face powder brush that I picked up, you see how it's like pretty dense and it's at an angle, so I feel like that might be more conducive to just being able to place more color onto my cheeks. So here goes nothing. Okay, yeah, that works. That'll do the trick. That was so effortless. It's very, very light, but if you look closely, I would say that's a pretty even wash of color. Yeah, this formula, I was pretty much sold the minute I touched it. I was very close to picking up a few other shades, like a peach and a pink, more traditional blush shades, but then I realized that, you know, what I would really love to see, what shade I would really love to see in this particular blush formulation? I want them to come out with a red, or at least like a darker watermelon pink. Because I feel like the light pinks and the corals, I already have so many of those. in my collection. I want like rarer, bolder colors that most cheek formulas don't tend to get correct. I want them to come out with those colors for this cheerful blusher collection. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. This might be my new favorite lilac blush, which kind of saddens me because I had such a soft spot in my heart for the Fab Fig blush duo. I mean, I still like this. This one is more of like a cream formulation, and then there's a highlight here. So it fulfills, you know, a different role than the powder blush, but still. Okay, and then let's go in with the Tom Ford Glow Highlighter in Rose Irise. Side note, the design on this matches my new suitcase, the one that I just bought for my upcoming Dubai trip, perfectly. With the stripes and everything, it's just giving 5-star hotel suite in Dubai. So this highlighter, I've already worn it on a few different occasions now. I don't have a highlighting brush, so I'm just going to use this one. We'll work with what we have. That's not working. Let me find, maybe this will work. Yeah, okay. So I will be honest, I expected this to be a little more blinding than it is, although I'm looking now and okay, wow. I feel like maybe combined with the Aura cover cushion from TirTir, the glowiness of that foundation combined is really bringing out the blinding aspect of this highlighter more. But yeah, no, I expected it to be really, really like next level blinding from outer space. Okay, I feel like it kind of is though. This is not how it was looking the last time I did my makeup. It's probably because I was using the red cushion. So I do think, you know, it matters what your base is. But yeah, again, it's a really beautiful, subtle product, but I wouldn't say it's the most groundbreaking thing. It's more of that traditional, like it's just a traditional, you know, champagne-y gold highlighter. You could find a million other dupes for this exact shade and effect on the market at any price point. I was expecting it to have like, I guess, slightly chunkier glitters almost. I don't know why, because it's Tom Ford. They're not really known for that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just like a very, very finely milled, classic champagne-y highlighter. And I feel like, I don't know if you could really see with today's outfit, but this would be a great collarbone highlight as well. I'm definitely gonna be highlighting my collarbone this second time around in Dubai because I feel like it just adds that extra oomph in pictures. Okay, yeah, I really like the way that looks on my collarbones. This is nice. This is right up my alley, you know? I'm all about the rose gold and the champagnes. But even though it's rose gold, it's not like overly coppery the way that I find a lot of champagne highlighters to be. It just has this really soft, subtle pink, almost aurora tint to it. I'm a happy customer. This might be the start of a new era of Tom Ford makeup obsession relapse. I don't know, but this holiday collection, at least, this was a home run for me. And I'm so glad I picked up this blush too, even though I already have a million other lilac blushes. I might honestly go back and get more shades. Really wish they would come out with a red though. And we still have to put something on the lips, so I did not forget. I'm gonna go in with the Flower Nose Swan Ballet Series B07 shiny, it just says shining stick, but I think they meant to put lipstick. Anyway, I love this formulation. I know I didn't get a chance to properly review this whole collection, and I'm sorry about that, but I do, if I had to pick my favorite product from it, it would definitely be the lipstick formulation over the eyeshadow palettes even, sad to say. As you can see, Shining Lip is the correct name for this formula because it is super shiny, but I feel like without looking cheap. I like a shiny glossy lip, but I'm weary because depending on the formula, sometimes it can emphasize the wrinkles in my lips that I don't want. But this one is good at like filling in and smoothing over my natural lip wrinkles, but you still get that maximum shine. It looks like literal, like an oil slick. Speaking of oil, you see this T-zone area, it's starting to act up, you know? I really cannot skip that step of primer on this area, especially on the days that I apply foundation. But since we're here, let me just tone that down a bit with my Etousse Face Edition powder. I also picked up a new one in their limited edition rose gold packaging. It's the exact same powder, but I'm telling you, these brands are giving us the bare minimum. And yet here I am just eating it up. Okay, that looks better to me. But yeah, so this is the final look. Oh my goodness, it came out like exactly how I expected, pretty much. I feel like this is just the classic. You can't go wrong with this type of a eye and lip combo for the holidays. You know, a cool toned grayish brown eye with a red lip. Now personally, if I was going out or something to an event or a party, I would go with maybe a slightly more muted or deeper shade of red, but for the sake of, you know, trying out new products, I decided to opt for this one by Flower Nose. It doesn't look like as bright in the tube as it does translated on my actual lips. But the thing about these is that, yeah, they live up to their name. The shining lipstick formula, it's very, very shiny. I would say it's almost like a lip oil in stick form, and also packed with a bunch of pigment. That's what these are. And they also smell really nice. They have like a mild, sweet sort of scent to them. I like it. Okay, so I do have to run now, but thank you so much for hanging out with me for this Get Ready With Me. Let me know below your thoughts on any of these products. Have you tried them out? Have you picked them up? Are you contemplating anything? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!